Ich hatte lange überlegt gehabt, so einen Auslandsaufenthalt mal zu machen, mich besser kennenzulernen und Erfahrungen zu sammeln und eine Perspektive zu schaffen.
The trip to Italy showed me that the life is very short and I really have to do something out of that.
Pursuing further education and navigating the job market can be a daunting task for young Europeans. Those between the ages of 16 and 29 who are out of school and unemployed are called NEETs and can find themselves in a vulnerable situation.
Une expérience de travail à l'étranger peut-elle aider ces jeunes que l'on appelle NEETs à sortir de leur situation? Dans ce nouvel épisode de Realeconomy, nous voyageons à Recklinghausen, en Allemagne, pour suivre le parcours de deux jeunes filles, avant de nous diriger vers l'université de Maastricht pour tenter de répondre à ces questions. Mais d'abord, regardons la situation des NEETs en Europe dans notre cours accéléré.
In 2003, more than 11% of 15 to 29-year-olds in the European Union were categorised as NEETs. The acronym stands for Not in Education, Employment or Training, and there are approximately 8 million of them in the EU. Young people often fall into this category when they have difficulty transitioning from school to work. Generally, they have a low level of education, family difficulties and physical or emotional problems. A higher NEET rate can fuel social exclusion and aggravate poverty. The scale of the issue varies across the bloc. For instance, NEET numbers range from nearly 5% in the Netherlands to more than 19% in Romania. But finding these young people jobs could help employers address the skills shortages they face. Brussels wants to slash NEET levels across the EU to 9% by 2030 as part of its plans to enhance employment and social rights. After high school at Attige, a 20-year-old German girl took a break to think about her future. She then spent 2 months here in Vercelli in Italy, thanks to the European initiative ALMA, which offers professional and personal experience abroad to disadvantaged NEETs under 30 years of age.
I got to know many new Italian friends and getting to know a new language. I also worked there in a hotel and learned at my work many things. Now I feel more free, more confident, so it opened my eyes and my perspectives about other things.
Thanks to this professionally and culturally immersive experience and the support of mentors, Attige has come up with a plan for her future.
My dream career is to become a doctor someday. It's not easy to go and study medicine everywhere. You need exams, so yeah, I still have to clear that out and to start my career.
The European Union encourages young people to take part in social programmes like ALMA. In total, almost 11 billion euros have been invested in this integration process. Germany is one of the 15 countries taking part in the initiative. In Recklinghausen, the NGO Realeconomy coordinates the project.
We are trying to empower them, to motivate them into achieving what they don't even know they can achieve. They get to be on their own feet for the first time. They organize their own schedule, their own money, their budget, so they become more independent and they believe in themselves.
Participants like Attige are kept under observation for 4 months when they return.
We help them look for jobs, work on their presentations and everything, and they get to see the results. From the last group of people that we had, more than 50% have found work or school or education trainings.
Education levels can also influence the proportion of NEETs under 29 years of age. Across Europe in 2022, they represented 8% of young people with a high level of education, compared to 12% with an average level and 13.6% with a low level. Realeconomy also caught up with Jasmine. She went to Greece with ALMA 2 years ago.
Ich habe so vieles dazugelernt und es gab echt viele erste Male für mich. Zum Beispiel Strand und Meer und neue Menschen kennenlernen, eine vollkommen neue Kultur.
Jasmine was unable to pursue further education after high school for family reasons. She found a job at a hotel restaurant in Greece. She says she felt supported and the experience gave her space to broaden her horizons.
Ich bin offener geworden und traue mich mehr für Veränderung. Also für Veränderung bin ich jetzt auch bereit. Ich habe mich dann auch an einen Berufskolleg beworben und als gestaltungstechnische Assistentin, Schwerpunkt Medien und Kommunikation und wurde auch angenommen und werde das dann auch nach dem Sommer dieses Jahres beginnen.
It's evident that both Jasmine and Atisha have benefited from the ALMA project. However, they wouldn't be where they are today if it wasn't for their proactive and positive mindsets. Due to varying social and economic challenges across the EU, it can be easier for some to find the motivation for their careers than others. At Maastricht University, Professor Mark Levels pointed out that some NEETs will find it easier to find jobs, and for the most vulnerable, social integration is a major challenge.
What are the consequences of being classed as a NEET for an individual and for society?
Yeah, so a status as a NEET is related with a whole range of social problems. So NEET are much more likely to be poor, much more likely to live a life in relative social exclusion, much less likely to transition to the labor market later on. For society, the total cost in terms of missed labor productivity, the cost of social programs, but also the cost of trying to regulate crime and so forth, are huge. So they amount to about 142 billion a year.
Can having an experience living and working abroad lead to a lasting change?
These types of skills and these types of experiences can signal that you are able to perform a number of things that could be very much in demand. So they can definitely work. But the most vulnerable ones, the low-skilled ones, here they do not work. And that requires a completely different approach.
Do you have any countries, policies that can serve as model in your research?
Germany has a very well-functioning vocational education system. We see here that the school-to-work transition there actually works very well. Now, the issue is that you cannot just take an education system from one country and implement it into another country. You have completely different cultural settings. So that makes it kind of difficult to export.
What steps governments and educational institutions should take to help young people and NEETs transition from education to work?
Yeah, so if there's one thing that we know predicts a status as a vulnerable NEET, then it's early school leaving. So invest in your education system, invest in keeping people on board, invest in programs that teach children skills that are in demand on the labor market, and then focus on the children who are most vulnerable. Put them front and center.
Thank you, Professor.
You're welcome.
Preventing school dropouts and investing in programmes targeting the most vulnerable of young people can help to more effectively reduce the number of NEETs and support them on the path to a brighter future.